So we've got all these companies that are at record profits, and because of increased concentration, there's no way to compete those prices back down.
Right.
So you've got these multiple threads running through here. So my view on this, first, is it's not going to look like this in another 5 months. It will be different. Now, will it be enough? Will inflation be down? I can't make that prediction.
Sure.
But we do know supply chain kinks are working their way out. We don't know what will happen with the pandemic. We do know people have their jobs. But what we need to be doing is we need to be talking about the good economic news that is in part tied to the challenges of inflation.
John, what's the good economic news?
So unemployment is very low. So there is that bit of good economic news. But her thesis is entirely wrong. The idea that we are going to work out the supply chain kinks and that is the major driver of inflation is just inaccurate. First of all, inflation right now is being driven by excess demand. This isn't just my opinion. Jason Furman, who's a Harvard professor, worked in the Obama administration, top economic advisor, says it's demand driven. It's going to be persistent and demand driven. Number two, we're not working out the chinks in the supply chain in large part because we're still addicted to China. So what we have right now is China shutting down entire cities because of COVID. So as long as that keeps happening, our supply chain problems are going to get worse. Plus, we have a war in Ukraine, which is creating problems for all sorts of commodities. So these problems are going to get worse before they get better. Food inflation is coming in the future. The food inflation we've had so far has nothing to do with the war in Ukraine. That's going to come later this year. We are going to have very potentially not a lot of relief when it comes to oil, in part because you have all this ESG investing that says, if you invest in fossil fuels, you are a bad company, bad person. Even today, we got news that activists are protesting the state of Oregon because they have fossil fuel investments. Guess what? If you don't invest in fossil fuels, the price of gasoline keeps going up, inflation keeps getting worse. So I don't see these problems working out 5 months from now just magically. That's the theory I just mentioned, immaculate disinflation. We just managed to get through it somehow. Every indicator is going the other way.